Hello, Scott.
Hello, teacher.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm great. Okay. Did you go out today?
No.
No. What did you do today?
I'm staying at home.
You stayed at home. And what did you do at home?
I'm watching TV, playing sport.
Okay.
I watch. And what?
Okay, so I want you to say that again. I watched TV and played sports.
I watch TV and play sport.
Okay. What about yesterday? Did you go out yesterday?
Wait. Yes. What?
I said, did you go out yesterday?
No.
So what did you do yesterday?
I stayed at home.
Okay, you stayed at home, and what did you do?
I'm doing did homework, practice the sport.
Okay, you did your homework yesterday and you practiced sports, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all right. So what did you eat today?
For breakfast.
Yes, what did you eat for
For
breakfast?
breakfast, I ate some noodles.
Okay, and lunch?
At lunch, I ate some chicken and rice. In the evening, I ate rice, soup, and beef.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, so who did you play sports with? Who did you play sports with?
I played both with my friends.
Oh, that's nice. How many friends do you have?
I have 6 friends.
Ah, that's much. That's nice. So who's your best friend?
My best friend is Back.
Bak, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. So welcome to the class today, Scott. Welcome to class. Okay. So are you happy today?
Yes, I'm happy.
That's good. So I'm going to share my screen now so we can move to today's lesson. All right. 1 minute, let me
Yes.
share my screen.
Wait a minute, teacher.
Okay, Scott.
Mommy.
Okay. So in our last class, we looked at public holidays in South Korea, right?
Yes.
Okay. And we did warm-up questions. So today we are going to move to the comprehension passage. All right. So I want you to read this. I want you to read.
Yes. People always hope that public holidays are on weekdays. This is because they can get an extra day off, work or school. Many people feel that South Korea needs more public holidays, and should the government allow more public holidays. Some some say that South Korea needs more public holidays. First, South Koreans work very long shower hours and have very short vacation. People in other countries work less and rest more. It is time for South Korea to rest longer. Second, South Koreans need more time to remember important events in their history. For example, South Korea made the most important law in 1948. The South Korean people should remember such events. Others disagree. First, on a public holiday, people do not work. This means that fewer things are made and sold. Then companies may let their workers go. In other words, many people lose their job. Second, on television and eat too much. South Koreans should look and study harder without waiting, wasting their time.
Okay, all right, that's nice. Okay, you did so well, all right? But you mispronounced this. I want us to pronounce this together, okay? 1948.
What?
I want you to pronounce this, okay? I want you to pronounce this. Can you hear me, Scott?
Yes.
Okay, 1948.
1948.
One more time, 1948.
1948.
Okay, so now let me read.
Why, teacher?
Okay.
I'm coming. Teacher.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so now here, public holidays in South Korea. People always hope that public holidays are on weekdays. This is because they can get an extra day off work or school. Many people feel that South Korea need more public holidays. Then should the government allow more public holidays? The next paragraph, some say that South Korea needs more public holidays. First, South Koreans work very long hours and have very short vacations. People in other countries work less and rest more. It is time for South Koreans to rest longer. Second, South Koreans need more time to remember important events in their history. For example, South Korea made the most important law in 1948. The South Korean people should remember such events. The last paragraph, others disagree. First, on a public holiday, people do not work. This means that fewer things are made and sold. Then companies may let their workers go. In other words, many people might lose their jobs. Second, on the public holidays, people just waste their time. Most people just sleep, watch television, and eat too much. South Koreans should work and study harder without wasting their time. Okay? So now I want us to answer the comprehension check. Okay? Number one says, why do people hope that a public holiday is on a weekday? I'll read that again. Why do people hope that a public holiday is on a weekday?
Because they can get an extra day of work or school.
That's nice. Okay, the next one. Why do South Koreans need more public holidays?
What?
Why do South Koreans need more public holidays?
Oh, yes. Because uh wait. Because South Korean work very long hours and have very short vacation.
Okay, that's nice. The next one, what kind of events should people remember from the past? I'll say that again. What kinds of events should people remember from the past?
Wait, teacher. What?
Can you hear me, Scott?
What? What?
I said, what kinds of events should people remember from the past? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So what kinds of events should people remember from the past?
Because South Korea needs more time to remember important events in their history.
Okay. For example,
South Korea made the most important law in 1948.
that's nice. That's nice. Okay, the next one. Why is it a problem for South Korea if people do not work on a public holiday? I'll say that again. Why is it a problem for South Korea if people do not work on a public holiday?
Can you say again?
Why is it a problem? Number 4, why is it a problem for South Korea if people do not work on a public holiday? Why is it a problem for South Korea if people do not work on a public holiday?
Because I
Why
don't know.
is it? I'm going to repeat the question again. Why is it a problem? Okay. Why is it a
Yes.
problem for South Korea if people do not work on public holidays? Why is it a problem for South Koreans if people do not work on a public holiday?
This is on a public holiday, people do not work. And companies may let their worker go.
Okay.
In order, yes.
So it's a problem if people do not work in South Korea. Can you hear me, Scott?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a problem if people do not work in South Korea because it means fewer things are made and sold. Okay, it means fewer things are made and sold. All right, then companies may let their workers go. All right.
Yes.
This means that fewer things are made and sold. Companies may let their workers go. All right?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's look at the next question. How do people waste their time on a public holiday? How do people waste their time on a public holiday?
Is most people just sleep watch television, and eat too much. South Koreans should work and study harder without wasting their time.
Okay, so many people just sleep, watch television, and eat too much. Okay, many people just eat, sleep, watch television. All right, so now let's move to the vocabulary check. Okay, now here we have disagree, event, extra, public, and weekday. All right, so before we move to
Yes.
filling in the sentence, I want us to know the meaning of these words. All right, so the first one here we have disagree. Do you know the meaning of disagree?
Yes.
Okay, so what does it mean?
This means don't accept.
Okay, you disagree, don't accept, you don't have the same opinion. Okay, you do not have the
Yes.
same opinion. Disagree, do not have the same opinion. 1 minute. What about the next one? Event.
Event is um that mean very I don't know.
Okay, so when you talk about events, all right, we're talking about something that happens, like a party or meeting. Okay, when you're talking about event, we're talking about something that happens like a party or a meeting. All right,
Yes.
so the next one we have extra. Do you know the meaning of extra?
No.
Okay, so when you're looking at extra, extra means more than needed, more than needed. Okay, more than needed. That's the meaning of extra. All right, remember I said events means something that happens like an like a party. And the other one we have extra. And extra means more than needed. Okay?
Yes.
So the next one we have public. Do you know the meaning of public?
Public is um um this is that mean for example is a park and in the museum or in the cinema.
Okay, that's nice. So you know the meaning, but you don't know how to explain it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when you say public, it means for everyone. Okay, public means for everyone. It's not private. It's for
Yes.
everyone to use. Okay, for everyone.
To use.
Yes, for everyone to use or see. For everyone to use or see. Okay, that's the meaning of public. The next one we have weekday. Okay, so what's the meaning of weekday? What's the meaning of weekday?
What?
Can you hear me, Scott?
Yes.
I said, what's the meaning of weekday?
That means the end of the week. The end day of the week.
No.
For example.
Okay, go on. For example.
For example, is it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
That's all.
Monday to Friday. Okay. Weekdays are Monday to Friday. Okay. And it's not the end of the week. Okay. The beginning. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right. So the end of the week, we have Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
Okay. Saturday, Sunday. Those are weekends. Okay. Monday to Friday, we have weekdays. Okay. And when you say weekends, that's what? Saturday and Sunday. Yes. So I want you to always know the difference. Okay. Weekday, Monday to Friday. Okay. Weekend, Saturday and Sunday. All right?
Yes.
That's good. So now let's fill in the words. Let's fill the words. Okay? Let's complete each sentence. All right? So number one, I want you to read and tell me the answer.
One, you can have an extra piece of bread.
Okay? You can have an extra piece of bread. And, okay? And, A-N. All right? Number two.
Scientists disagree about the beginning of life.
Okay, scientists disagree about the beginning of life. All right? Yes. Number three.
Public transportation means buses, trains, and airplanes.
All right. Public transportation means buses, trains, and airplanes. Okay. And number four.
Number four is weekday mean any day of the week except Saturday and Sunday.
That's nice. Weekday means any day of the week except Saturday and Sunday. All right. And number five.
Her birth is an important event for everybody.
That's nice. Her birth is an important event for everybody. Okay, that's amazing. So you got this part correctly. All right. But I want you to always remember the meaning of these words: disagree, event, extra, public, and weekday. Okay. Disagree, event, extra, public, and weekday. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So now, Scott, our time is up. Okay, our time is up, Scott. So thanks for joining the class today. Yes.
Teacher. 5 minutes left.
5 minutes?
Yes.
Sorry. 1 minute, sorry. Okay, Scott, sorry about that. All right. So now let's move to the next one. Okay, So now we are at opinion practice. All right, sorry about that. I forgot. Okay, so we are at opinion practice. All right, refuting and supporting opinions. Okay, refuting and supporting opinions. All right, so the first one we have here is the supporting opinion. So I want you to read and tell me the supporting opinion. Let's start with number one.
Number one, more public holidays will help workers to become healthy because they can spend because they uh they can rest or exercise.
Because they can rest or exercise. That's number one is C, right?
Yes.
Okay, and number two?
Number two, school children do not need more public holidays because they what? Because they need to pay because they have long summer and winter vacation.
Okay, that's D.
Three, families will be happier when there are more public holidays because they can spend time together.
Okay, that's B.
Four, public holidays are bad for companies because they need to pay workers for doing nothing.
All right. More public holidays will help workers to become healthy because they can rest or exercise. Okay, number one is correct. School children do not need more public holidays because they have long summer and winter vacations. That's right. Families will be happier when there are more public holidays because they can spend time together. That's amazing. The last one, public holidays are bad for companies because they need to pay workers for doing nothing. Okay? This is correct. So now let's look at the next one. Refuting opinions.
When people waste their time on public holiday. Wait. That wait. Because people I don't can I change?
Okay, we can skip. All right, let's skip.
Yes.
Do number two.
South Korea does not need more public holiday. That's not correct. Public holiday help workers feel better. As a result, they will work harder after having a public holiday.
Okay, so I want you to understand this refuting. All right, Scott, I want you to understand refuting. Okay, so refuting here means disagree. Okay, I disagree. I don't accept. I don't agree. Okay, so when you read an opinion here, you are to disagree with the statement. When you read an opinion here, you have to choose an answer that disagrees to the statement. Okay, so now you said number two is A. All right, so what's number three?
Number three, more public holidays will cost company too much money. That's not correct. People don't care about why they have a holiday.
Okay, that's D.
For people will remember important events that are celebrated on holiday. I disagree. What? Many public holidays are lost each year because they fall on the weekend.
Okay, so this is C, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now what's number 1?
B.
B, all right. So now let's do the correction. Okay, let's do the correction. So number 1, you said people waste their time on public holidays. B, I disagree. Most people go on trips or do other activities. That's correct. Okay. South Koreans do not need public holidays. That's not correct. Public holidays help workers feel better as a result. They will work harder after having a public holiday. I disagree. Many public holidays are lost each year because they all fall on the weekend. Okay, so number 2 is C. Number 2 is C. South Korea does not need more public holidays. I disagree. Many public holidays are lost. Okay? Many public holidays are lost because they fall on the weekend. All right? And the next one here says more public holidays will cost companies too much money. More public holidays will cost companies too much money. That's not correct. People do not care about why they have a holiday. No. Most people know. Okay. Number 3 is A. Number 3 is A. I want you to understand the question again. Okay. The question says, or the opinion says, more public holidays will cost companies too much money. Okay. When you have more public holidays, okay, it will cost the company too much money. Okay.
Yes, teacher, the time is up.
All right, all right, all right. So in our next class, we're going to continue from here. Okay, we're going to continue from here in the next class. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for joining the class today, Scott. I'll see you in the next class. Bye.
Right.